Alright guys, what is going on, and welcome back to our Vancouver Canucks Be a GM mode. So we're here at the trade deadline in year number 6. We're currently, I think we're like number 3 in the NHL, behind the Bruins and behind the Philadelphia Flyers. And how I like to live by my GM modes is, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I mean, yeah, we're doing really well. We have 41 wins. We're atop of the NHL almost, but it is broken. There is some parts to our team that are broken, and a big piece is Jake Virtanen. He's 24 years old, 4 green stars. I've tried to grow him. He's not second line material. I mean, look at his stats, never over 30 points, and the way it's looking right now, 14 points in 63 games. He may just get less than 29 points this year. So, I mean, he hasn't done anything. 106 points in 401 games. Playoffs is really a non-factor either. He's a sniper, right? He has, I mean, look at his shooting category. His skating category is great, but I think Virtanen has to go. I think that's the main key. So we have one of two options here. We can do the Brandon method. He says it seems like Virtanen is the problem. I think Krause having 85 on the second line isn't a bad thing. So he thinks we should trade Virtanen and then put Gettinger in his correct position because he's a natural left winger. So I think that's not a bad deal at all. I think that Gettinger is going to have to play there regardless. So we get rid of Virtanen and we keep Krause. Maybe we trade Virtanen for a scoring third liner or another two-way forwards. We have the power forward and two-way forwards. So that's an option for sure. I like it. We have these other options though. Adam and Neil, they are pretty much saying slot down Krause to the third line. He's 85, he's a power forward. He may be better suited for the third line. You have a look at his stats. He had a pretty good year last year. I guess kind of an outbreak year, but this year has been absolutely terrible, and I don't know why, because he's got a good centerman and he's got a good winger with him. So I don't know. We're playing him on the power play. I've tried a lot of things with Krause. I feel like Krause and Virtanen are kind of in the same boat with, I mean, I've given them opportunities to produce, and Virtanen really hasn't done anything, where Krause did have the 1 year, but this year is just awful. We got him at 3 years at 2.3, which is a pretty decent contract. But I really don't know what to do. Everyone's kind of telling me to move Krause as well, and Virtanen. Then maybe if we move Krause and Virtanen, we could get another sniping winger, and then, or maybe like a playmaker, right? Like a playmaker wouldn't be that bad between a two-way forward and a sniper. So we trade Virtanen and Krause for a legitimate like 86, 87 overall left winger, and then either we could bring Ehlers up or even Killorn. Do we have anyone in the minors that's ready to come up? So I can just slot them on the fourth line and then put Ehlers there. I mean, we have this Patrick Fellows guy who's technically listed as a fourth liner. He's having a really good year in Utica. He's listed as a fourth liner, 23 years old. Maybe I'll just let Utica kind of be what it is. They're having a really good year, so why take away one of their leading scorers when we could probably find someone in the trade market here? So we're going to go ahead and put Krause on there. We're going to go ahead and we're going to put, who else are we going to put on there? We're going to put Horvat on there, and we're going to put on Jake Virtanen. So I'm definitely going to put some options out there if teams can come forward to me. Hopefully we get a few offers here. Jake Virtanen. So our wants, we want a second line forward who is, I guess, established. Let's say 23. Let's go 23 to 30 years old. We want them to be established. Let's go at least 3.5 stars. Shooting category has to be at least, so the shooting category has to be decent. You know what? I'm not even going to worry about that. I'm just going to kind of see what's available out there. So let's have a quick look here. Estevan, and then we want a left winger. So Burakovsky, he's a left wing sniper. His trade value is pretty high, 33 points in 46 games. He's on a 3-year contract worth 4.3. So really, if we trade Burakovsky, I guess straight across for Krause, not saying that's going to happen, but we'll only be taking on $1 million in cap. Krause is 3.3 and this guy's 4.3. So that's definitely an option. And there's this xTechGaming guy who we were going to initially go trade for, but we ended up trading for Krause, and he's 25. He's got the 4 gold stars, so I mean, Krause has the physical advantage on this guy, only being 5'9". I like him. He's decent. He's a playmaker though. It's not that bad. His passing isn't that great actually. His shooting category and his acceleration are out of this world. His offensive awareness is great. xTechGaming, okay, we'll have a look at him. Baptiste, he's 25. Wow, he's looking really nice. I know he was an option as well when we were going to go pick him up. So he's got the exact same amount of points, more goals though, and he's a power forward at 5.7 for the next 3 years. Cole Castles, I can't believe that this guy progressed into being such a good player. I can't believe that. We traded him in the trade to get Nikolai Ehlers. Terrible trade. Oh my god. We traded him with Henrik Sedin to go to Winnipeg for Nikolai Ehlers and Josh Morrissey. So Morrissey's pretty good, but Ehlers hasn't really completed a whole lot. Sprong, 23 years old. He's 86 overall sniper. I mean, there's definitely options out there. Brandon Pierlini, he might not be bad. Good skating category, good passing, good shooting. I like Pierlini. Pierlini's got the exact same contract that Lawson Krause does. This guy might not be that bad. Left wing sniper. We take another one from Arizona. Pavel Zacha might not be that bad either. 85 overall, 33 points. There's definitely options out there. David Pasternak, Oliver Bjorkstrand, 54 points. He's doing really good in Columbus there. Jason Dickinson, two-way forward. So there's definitely some options, okay? Definitely options out there. Let's go ahead and hop into the trade deadline. There's definitely options. I've put my cards on the table for players I want to trade. Let's see here. It's going to be a very important trade deadline. So before I make a move, I want to see if there's any skaters being given away. Maybe there's a decent second line winger that we can go scoop up that maybe isn't working out. I'll have a look around. Is that Duncan Keith, 78 overall? Oh my god, that is ridiculous. Holy crap, they're paying him 5.5 mil for the next 3 years. Holy, wow, Duncan Keith went down and went down fast. That's crazy. I mean, when Kevin Kline is a better overall and still in the NHL than Duncan Keith 6 years in, that's crazy. Do you think Duncan Keith is going to be 70 overall in 6 years? Like in real life, you think he's going to be that bad playing in the AHL? I don't think so. But as I'm looking here, Ovi. Oh, hold on. We could get Ovi, baby. 35 has got 1 year left. We could potentially go get Alexander Ovechkin. We could snag up Ovi. They want to give him away. He's got a contract year. Oh boy, okay, hold on here. Hold your horses. I want to see how good Washington is. If they're bad, I'm gonna maybe pursue Ovi, which they might be. Okay, hold on here. Ovechkin, Alexander Ovechkin. They don't look like they're having the greatest year. Oh man, so I wouldn't break up the first line. I wouldn't do that. Hold on here. Let me just see if this is actually feasible or anything. Hold on here. So I'd say Virtanen and Krause definitely have Ovi covered. If we want to go for cups, you want to go for the best option. And I don't think we're going to be here for that many more years. We're in year 6. Oh, man. So let's look at the positives here going to get Alexander Ovechkin. The positives are he's a legitimate sniper. Obviously, 746 career goals. He is legitimate as it gets. You look up legitimate scorer in the dictionary and out comes Alexander Ovechkin. He's playoff proven, 93 points in 93 playoff games. We could get Ovi, so that's a huge positive. Okay, positive is he's a veteran guy. He's been in the league a long time. The negative is he has a big contract. He's gonna want like $8 million next year, and he's 35 years old. So the negative towards that is once he becomes like 86 overall, he's gonna be kind of perfect to play on the second line. But then we might not have someone to replace him once the time comes for him to retire, because he could retire in like 2 years. And the other negative thing is it's not realistic. I'll get a bunch of hate comments saying that's totally unrealistic. Ovi should retire capital, blah 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 blah. But say Ovi hasn't won a Stanley Cup yet, okay? Maybe Ovi hasn't won a cup. He's 35 years old. They want to get rid of him. That's kind of realistic, you know, having a... Oh man, okay, we'll keep Ovi as an option until the end, but I like it. I like it a lot. We'll skip through maybe 2 hours of this, and if Ovi's still available, I may just pull the trigger on Alexander Ovechkin. So 2 hours left, and there has been no trade bites whatsoever. So you look at Ovi once again, he's not the same player he once was, obviously, right? I mean, he's not getting 100-point years anymore. He's slowing down. You seen this happen lots. Players get traded to legitimate playoff contenders, and it looks like Washington isn't this year. So, I mean, it is realistic in a sense. You've seen players like Marty St. Louis be traded, like Eric Cole to go be traded, Mark Recchi to go be traded and win a Stanley Cup, and that all happened. They all won their Stanley Cups. Curtis Glencross. There's a lot of players that have served their time in the NHL and have not won a Stanley Cup, and they deserve to. So I think bringing Ovi to Vancouver isn't that unrealistic. Let's try this. Let's just see if we can make a trade go through. So I'm gonna need something back as well. I want a third line winger, and Tom Wilson is definitely that. He's grindy. He is physical, 6'4", 212. His discipline's shit. You know, it actually doesn't even look that great. He's just really physical. I'll have a look to see what else they have for a fourth liner. We can get another Duclair. They really don't have a whole lot aside from Tom Wilson, who's got 1 year left at 3.3. So we're not going to be screwed for cap this year. I want to have a look at who we have to re-sign this year, because obviously we have to re-sign Ovi. We're going to have to re-sign Jake Bean. So that's going to be $5 million. We got to re-sign Jared McCann. That's going to be maybe $2.5 million. We have to re-sign Gettinger. It might be $1.5 to $2 million. And then aside from that, it's not looking like anything. Like the only big players we have coming up is Nail Yakupov in 2 years, and then we have Johnson and Morrissey and Duclair. But Ovi could be retired by then. So let me try to work out a trade for Ovi. Ovi's going to come and win a Stanley Cup in Vancouver. That's all he wants. Let me have a quick look here and see if I can do anything here. I mean, plus you look at Washington, they have wingers who can fill the void if they get rid of Ovi. Plus they're getting back Krause, and they really don't have a tough top six guy. I mean, Michael Bogger is more of a finesse player. It's that same thing with Burakovsky and Nicholas Backstrom. So I think this trade is realistic. I think we're getting a lot of cap back, but let's see here. So if Virtanen goes, we don't gotta re-sign him. That's not really quote-unquote realistic, you guys would say. So I have to throw in a first just to make it realistic. But a first, Krause and Virtanen, 2 young scorers for Ovechkin and Tom Wilson. Now, will this go through? I think that Wilson and Ovi are a bit much, but the first, actually, you know what? That's gonna go through regardless. So the Great 8, are you coming to Vancouver? Alexander Ovechkin. I think this is perfect. I think this trade is great. A first, I mean, I'll even throw in a second. I don't even care at this point. If you guys say it's not realistic, they're getting picks, they're getting 2 young players, and Ovi gets a shot to win a Stanley Cup. This is as realistic as it gets, in my opinion. Will this trade go through? Ovi, are you coming to Vancouver? Yes, he is. I doubt anyone will think Washington came out on the short end of the stick with this trade, so it's a done deal. Alexander Ovechkin, the Great 8. Okay, Ovi, baby. Oh my god. This just made me super excited here. So, let's go best lines. Let's figure out what we're going to do with the lines here. I am ecstatic right now. We're not going to break up the first line. That's not going to happen. No way. Not happening. No way. No how. Okay, so Tom Wilson is a right winger. Perfect. Okay, he's a right winger. Now, Gettinger can play on his correct wing. Glendening is going to go there. Ehlers is going to go there. So, that's kind of absolutely perfect. So, Ovi is going to play with Horvat and Yakupov. That's going to be a fantastic line. 2 Russians and a Canadian. I love that line. Oh, man, I am so stoked on this. I am very excited. Okay, so defensively, Lindholm, Bean, yeah, that's totally fine. And then goaltenders, Freddie and Ben Bishop. Power play, Ovechkin, Matthews, Duclair, Johnson, Yakupov, McCann. Okay, Johnson, Yak, McCann's not that bad. We can try that. You know what I'm going to do, actually? I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put Ovi on the point, and I'm going to put Morrissey up top, because Morrissey is very offensively minded, and Ovi on the left point, that's Slapshot City all day, every day. So, Ovechkin, Matthews, Duclair. Okay, I like this a lot. I'm super excited about this. 4-man power play. Yeah, it's going to be perfect. I want to put Horvat, though, on some sort of power play. If Johnson's getting the legit power play, we got to give Horvat there. PK, this is where it's going to be fun. Matthews, Glendening. I don't want Matthews killing penalties, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to put Glendening there. And who's going to be a winger to kill penalties? Tom Wilson, baby. That's why we got you. Who else can we put there? We can put put McCann and Horvat. I guess that's not bad. 3-man PK, Johnson and Horvat. That's fine. 4-on-4 lines. Yep, we're all good to go. I think that was a great trade. I don't know. I think that was extremely realistic, and there's people going to say, oh my god, Ovi's never going to leave. But I think it's realistic as it gets. That's a huge trade. Ovechkin and Tom Wilson for Virtanen, Krause, a first and a second. So I think that's a legitimate trade, and I think I made that as realistic as I possibly could. I think that was a great trade. So you can see here that Washington has not won a Stanley Cup, okay, in the past at least 4 years. They haven't been to the Stanley Cup final in at least 4 years, so I think that was a legitimate trade. Ovi's gonna get a huge shot to get his ring. Let's go. See how he does in his first game up against San Jose Sharks. This is a sold-out arena. Rogers Arena is bumping right now. They are super excited to see Ovi. Let's go. First period, 0-0. Period number 2, 1. Oh, Austin Matthews. God, I want Ovi to score. We're getting pumped right now, 23-13. Come on, guys. Come on. We got 2 new players in the lineup tonight. We got Wilson and obviously Ovechkin. Power play. Oh man, we got up in there. We got up there in the shots, but nothing happening offensively. Come on, guys. Come on. We need to see a big goal here. Not gonna happen. We get Ovi and we only get 1 goal. I know what? I'm not even gonna worry about that. I don't think that's a huge issue. Ovechkin actually got 1 assist there, so I'm not gonna worry about it. This episode's gonna be crazy long, by the way. I just gotta get this done as soon as I can. I don't want to keep you guys here for like half an hour, but I want to slow sim until I see Ovi's first goal. I want to see who assisted on it. I just want to see Ovi's first goal. It's going to be at home too. Come on, up against LA. That's perfect. A big rivalry. First period, 2-0. Johnson and Matthews. The first line's clicking. And the Vancouver boy Milan Lucic. Period number 2, 3-2. No, Leslie and Pearson. Come on, Ovi. Oh, Nail Yakupov, the other Russian on the power play. Josh Morrissey on the power play. That's why I put him on the power play offense, because he is a beast. He is so offensively minded, it's ridiculous. Come on, Ovi. Come on, Ovi. Oh man. Okay, if he doesn't score in the next game that we slow sim, I just got to get rid of the rest of the games. We won't be here forever. Killorn gets a big goal. You know what? I'm not gonna worry about it. If he's not scoring, we're winning games. At least he's helping the team, obviously, and the goals will definitely come. So Matthews, Johnson, and Duclair, that whole line is just ridiculous. We're gonna have a look at Ovi's goal total. It's obviously 38. I'd like him to start scoring some goals, but it's only 2 games in. He's played in Washington for his entire career. You know, Ovi's probably a little bit out of his comfort zone here. Boom, he had 2 goals there against Buffalo. Absolutely perfect. Ovi is in the house. He's probably a little bit, feeling uncomfortable there. 3 goals in his last 2 games. But, he's played in Washington for his entire career. He's played there for like 16 years, okay? So he's probably a little bit out of his comfort zone. First period, 1-0 Steen. Period number 2, 1 short-handed Chris Tanev. What are you doing out there? Attaboy Tanev with a big short-handed goal. Come on, guys. Let's get a big one here. Let's get a big one. We need these points. I want home ice advantage come playoff time. Go into a shootout, and they beat us in the shootout. Ovi had the only shootout goal for us, but Tarasenko, then Robbie Fabry wins it in penalty kicks. That's not too bad. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Do we have any games against Washington? Oh, we do. The next game's against Washington. Okay, we gotta slow sim that one. This one's gonna be a long episode, but can Ovi hit 50 goals? Can he do it? It's not unreachable. I think there's quite a few games left here. So Freddie has not won in his last 2, so we're gonna go split him up here. We're gonna give Ben Bishop a few games up against the Washington Capitals. So you can see they don't have that great of a record. Probably not gonna be a playoff team. Ovi's just gonna be wasted there in Washington. First period, 3-1. Oh my goodness. Niskanen, Burakovsky, and Nicholas Backstrom. It seems whenever we slow sim games, we just don't do very well. We're out shooting him like crazy. Come on, Big Ben. Come on, buddy. Hold it down. Period number 2, 4-2. Tyler Johnson and Jake Virtanen on the power play. Of course. Why else? Why else would Jake Virtanen? Come on. Okay, 29 shots to 23. The offense. Sarah Bo Horvat scores a big goal. And Provorov, baby, the Russian. Now, how about the other Russian scores a goal? I know know I'm obviously focusing on stats way too much, but I would like to see Ovi score against his old team. That would be awesome. Going into OT. Come on, Ovi. You got it, buddy. You got it. Oh, freaking Carrick scores. Some Carrick just scored. I don't know who that guy is. Probably like a third string defenseman, but I'm not going to worry about it. Ovi had 2 points in the victory, so I'm not going to worry about it. Let's get the rest of the regular season completed, and then I can do a little bit of a wrap up. I know this one's going to be pretty long. Bishop lost again there, so if he loses against Winnipeg, I will go ahead and I will put Freddie back in. Then we'll probably run Freddie for the last like 8 or 10 games, and then what we're going to do is we're going to give him a couple games off, and then Freddie is definitely going to be our leading guy going in towards the playoffs. So that's all fine. Let's get Freddie back in there. Freddie looking good there, and then we'll just get the rest of the year done, and I will I'll leave out the last 2 games. I'll give those both to Ben Bishop. Maybe I'll leave out the last 3. I'll give the last 2 to Bishop, and then I will go ahead and I will give we're losing some games here. What's going on? Another loss. Oh my god, we're playing like shit right now. But I will go ahead and I will give the other game to Freddie, the very last one. 2-0. There you go, Freddie. Maybe what I'm thinking of doing here, I just had a quick thought. Maybe move Ovi up to the first line, put Duclair on the right wing, and then move Johnson down to the second line. I don't know about that because that first line has been so good, but maybe if Ovi had Duclair to play with, because you look at Duclair has 57 helpers, maybe it'd be like a match made in heaven. Maybe I'll do that for the last 3 games just to try it out. I like doing those little tests. We'll have a look, but I don't know if that's really going to work out or not. Up against Connor McDavid here and the Oilers. How many games we got left? A few. I think we got 5 games left. So for the next 3, we got a home and home here against Edmonton. So for the next 3, I will do that. I'll put Duclair and Ovi on the same line, and we just won huge there actually. So that's what I'm gonna do. Just try it out, have a little bit of fun with it before it all ends here. We'll put Horvat, you right there, Johnson, Yakupov. There you go. So let's just try it out just for fun. Okay, I'm not saying it's gonna be a permanent thing because it may not be, but Duclair 60 helpers. First period 0-0, 13-3. Period number 2. Whoa, man, what is with us? Every time we slow sim, I just can't get the goal support. I don't know what it is. It's so weird. I don't know what it is. We always outshoot the opponent 31-10. Oh man, who the hell do they have in net? We're not doing anything wrong. We're putting tons of pucks on this goaltender, but he is just shutting the door. Get that guy a player of the game card. Holy. Jake Bean, of course it's Cam Talbot. There you go, Jake Bean. Big goal. Big goal. Okay, so we're gonna get rid of this game with a victory, hopefully. Come on here. 40 shots. This is ridiculous. And we lose 41-17, and we lose. That's ridiculous. That's crazy. Holy shit. Cam Talbot played an absolutely incredible game. I'm not gonna worry about that too much. So I'm gonna give the 1 game here to Ben Bishop, and then I'm gonna run Freddie for the next 2 games, get him prepped towards the playoffs. I'd like to hit 50 wins, but I'm not gonna be too worried if we don't. Nice victory there. We got 2 games left, and we need 1 more win to get to 50. We're gonna give it to Freddie the next 2 games. Maybe he'll hit 30 wins, and we'll hit 50 wins as a total. That would be nice. Up against LA. Big victory here. Come on, guys. There you go. There you go. There it is. 50 wins on the year, and Freddie, that's fantastic. 30 wins. Absolutely beautiful. Period number 1. Last little tune-up here before the playoffs. 3-0. Gettinger and Yak gets 2. There you go. Period number 2. 3-0 still. 25-19. I mean, we're out shooting and we're outplaying every opponent that we come up against. We're just kicking their ass. And Freddie gets a shutout in his last game. That's beautiful. That's awesome. There you go. Freddie is ready for the playoffs. Freddie is ready. There you go. So Ovi didn't hit 50 goals. He's 35 years old. You know, he's obviously not the sniper he once was. I want to see who we're getting in round number 1. It's the Winnipeg Jets. Okay. So it looks like we have made it into the elite category. Legendary GM. There you go. Very impressed with the year. 51 victories. There you go. We got the Winnipeg Jets in round number 1. So I want to end this one off pretty quick because we have had quite a long episode here. But 51 victories, 105 points. Wow. Philadelphia just crushed it. What else do we got here? I want to see power play. We're 23. Not bad. Power play. We're number number 5 with 23%. PK, we're number 8, so definitely improved there on the penalty kill. We're 8-1-1 in our last 10 games, so that's actually really impressive going towards the playoffs. Really, are we 8-1-1? I guess we are. Yeah, we've been winning quite a few games. I didn't even realize that. But Freddie is our main guy in the playoffs. Absolutely. I want to check out the entire NHL stats, our stats, and then we'll move on here to the playoffs in the next episode with Ovi, baby. We got him. I love that trade. I think it's a great trade. It works out for both teams. If you're gonna tell me otherwise, I'd like to know why in the comments if that's not a good deal. But points wise, Duclair 90 points, back-to-back years with 90 points. That's fantastic. Tyler Johnson 89, another great year. Ovi had 78. It's not that bad. His lowest point total in the last 3 years though, but he is getting older, 35 years old. Austin Matthews, kind of a slower year, but still a plus 28, 72 points. Yakupov doing absolutely fantastic there. A little bit less goals than what he's used to, but it's not a bad year at all. 61 points. Lindholm 54. That's great. Attaboy. I think that's a career high actually. J Money, Josh Morrissey, finally, there you go, has a breakout year. 45 points, 14 goals. McCann did great on the third line. I can't say anything about that. And Horvat had 2 less points. That's not that bad. Provorov, Jake Bean, 12 goals on him. That's awesome. Tom Wilson, 21 points. Nikolai Ehlers, Chris Tanev, and Joe Gattenby, baby, 9 points, a -2. Yes, I'll check on Argon Bus, but what I want you guys to do is tell me how many points Tom Wilson had. There's his stats. You can tell me how many points Ovi had in the games that he played with the Vancouver Canucks. So I don't think it was too many. I think he had like 68 points or something when we picked him up. So you guys can let me know in the comments, but yes, we're going to go ahead and check out the entire NHL, and we're going to check Argon Bust. So looks like, holy shit, 113 points. Ben Stamkos, Tavares, Sagan, Drouin. We're actually not seeing any drafted players up here yet. Who's up there for a drafted player? You can see no one actually. Actually pretty crazy. No drafted players. No one yet. Wow, Ghost, 72 points. That's crazy. Where's a drafted player? Joshua Ho-Sang was still in the game. I want to see a player who's been like drafted in like the 3rd year or something like that. Someone really coming up. No one with like 60 points. Wow. There's all these names I recognize. I'm gonna go down till I find one here. Hold on. Okay, so I had to go all the way down. 222 I had to go. That's crazy. So this is the first drafted player in 2017 that has been up there in the points department. That's crazy. The NHL is still dominated by all of the talent that they have 6 years later. That's ridiculous. So let's check out here. It's kind of interesting. I thought that was kind of cool. Oliver Ekman-Larsson is leading the way with 80 points. Goaltenders looking like this. Yeah, it's fine. Brendan Johnson, the guy who we were going to trade for, there he is. He won 36 games this year, 55 games played, and Freddie is in the 3rd spot, so that's really nice. And then we got to check out the rookies. There it is. Let's see here. There's actually that guy. He's the leading rookie scorer this year, so that's pretty cool. And rookie attendees here. It's looking like right there. Johnson gets classified as a rookie. There it is. So now for Argon Bust, he's probably going to have more than 9 points. He has 18 and a -17 though. So yeah, I think the Gattenby probably wins that one with being a plus player, or he was like a -2, but still -17. That is really, really bad. Arizona going to be bottom feeders once again. We're going to hop into the playoffs in the next episode. Sorry for this one being so long, but Ovi, baby, he is in Vancouver. The Great 8 has arrived. I'll see you guys in the playoffs.